All right, hi, welcome to the practice room. My name is AJ Fick. I'm the director of media and music at Real Life Student Ministries in Reading, Pennsylvania. We are going to look at the song Yours Forever today by Hillsong United. It's off the album Tear Down the Walls. Okay, this song is in the key of B minor, which means it's same as a D, the key of D, only it starts on a B minor, or a B. The main part of this song, the meat of the song, is the same three chords over and over again. It's a B minor, a D, and an A, which you hear super clearly in the first three notes of the song. And for the bassist, it's really important just to mainly be hitting those because it's the driving force behind the whole thing, and it keeps the song moving. The bass is what's keeping the bass and the drums together, and this one keep the time, obviously, but also keep it very driving and upbeat and exciting and not so much like laid back and bland. So when we look at the intro to the song, it's like I said, B, D, and A. It starts off with that. Over and over and over in the beginning, and for the bass there's a little bit of variation in there. The first time it's super simple, and the second time it's, which is just a B, a D, E, A, real quick. And the bassist also throws in some other variation with between the B and the A on the first note, like. So you get this more driving and more rock sound out of it because you're playing a minor seventh, which is the A in the key of B minor, which is a classic staple in rock music, and it's done in a lot of famous songs, and it's done to keep it very driven and very big. So that's the intro to the song. It's very simple. And that's all it is. That's very easy. Then we get into the verse, and the verse is a little more tricky. It's very important to know your timings with sliding your fingers and sliding from note to note. What is different between some of the versions of this song is the original version from Tear Down the Walls is a live CD. However, they do it again in a couple of their live albums, like Live in Miami, where the bassist tricks it out a little bit more. But I think it's important to remember not to overplay it. But here's what it sounds like basically. And again, it's basically the B, D, and A over and over. The chords actually are still. But as the bassist, what's happening is you're starting on a lower B on like the second fret, third string, sliding up to an A on the 12th fret, to the B again. So it sounds like this. And then you just slide around again to different notes. It goes the first part through is different from the second, just like the intro. So for the verse, he goes the first time it's B, A, D, A, B to a D to the A up there again on the 12th fret, and then the second time it goes B, A, B, A to an E, and that repeats throughout the entire verse. So if I were to play a verse for you, it sounds like this. Then we get to the whole, the pre-chorus or the chorus, depending on how you're looking at it. That's Lord, lead us in the ways of your love. But in this version, in this part of the song, it's more like a staccato. Not quite as staccato as that, but it keeps it a little pulsy throughout the song, which keeps it really cool and a little bit different and more distinguishable from the other parts. So it sounds more like this. Over and over and over. And then a little variation you can throw on that is simply to throw in an A every once in a while you're hitting your first note, just like in the intro. Like that. Something very simple. But keeping it very tight is what's really important in this song. So that's that. Lead us in the ways of your love, to lead a broken world to your cross. That's that whole part. And then the first chorus, or the end of the first chorus, depending on, again, how you're looking at it, we are yours forever, our lives won't be the same. That part, the bassist drops out entirely to give it a little more depth when they get into it real big later. So if we're at, lead us in the ways of your love, we are yours forever, we're out completely. And then we come back in at the intro after that chorus, because it cuts at the end, and that means when you come back in as the bassist, that gives it so much more drive and so much more punch. So we come out of that, we go into the guitar solo section where they break, and all you're doing the whole time when you're in is a B minor, unless, again, you want to throw some flourishes, some variation on that. From the Live from Miami album, there's one run specifically that I like that I'll play. So you come out of that, our eyes won't turn away, and then you come in with the B, and then again, during one of those breaks in the Live from Miami album, like I said, he throws in this little run where he goes, that's a A to a B, an E to an F sharp, and then an A to a B again. So it sounds kind of like this. Our eyes won't turn away. And then break again for the next part of the solo. Or you can throw that in there right at the end of the solo section after the first or after the second one, and it does the same exact thing. The whole ending of the song is pretty much the same as the other parts that I've already talked about, with the exception of the bridge. The bridge is really cool. It's that, we're living in the one who gave his life to see our sin erased. And what you're doing there is the only time the chords really change the whole song. You go from a B to a D, D, to an E, to an F sharp. But they throw hits in here where they go, we're living in the one who gave his life to see your sin erased. We know, our hope is never gonna fade away. So that's the first time through. The second time through, it's all very, very straight, with the snare drum, which is kind of playing a da 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 marching style pattern. The hits on this part are, you go from the B, we're living in the one who gave, A, D, his life to see our sin erase, C sharp, E, we know, F natural, F sharp, then back to the E. And then it's just ba-da-da-da with the snare. And that time I would just do it as a walk-up rather than coming down like that, like I did in the first one. But in the first time, it's definitely good to come down on that low E and the low F sharp, because it gives it a huge fullness that it doesn't have the second time, intentionally. And then the whole ending is exactly the same. We got a pre-chorus part in there, and then a chorus, and then the end. So that's Yours Forever by Hillsong United off of the Tear Down the Walls album. Have fun with the bass part. Make it rock and roll. One of the few incredible rock and roll Jesus songs we have floating around. Hope you enjoy this tutorial, and have a great rest of your day.